And so, Orlando now 23-14, still with home court.
Ernie, just tell them to erase Milwaukee and Cleveland.
Guys, go ahead and erase Milwaukee and Cleveland.
Those they might fluctuate, those 8 teams. I believe they will. Well, 3 through 8 will fluctuate, but 1 and 2 are signed, sealed.
I believe you may be right. I believe you're looking at the top 8.
Oh, you are looking at the
no question, no question.
Shaq has got the telestrator out. He is scratching. You have taken to the Shaq-istrator or the Shaquille-istrator.
You know, Ernie, when you look at those standings, you know, you're looking at really 3 games separating Philadelphia from New York. They can make that up in a week.
Can anybody on that list, Chicago included, beat Miami 4 times?
Yeah, Chicago can. Chicago, to me, listen, as great as Miami's been playing, you think about this. Listen, we got to start talking about Tom Thibodeau in Chicago as one of the great coaches in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
Because think about this, missing Luol Deng for as much as he has, missing Derrick Rose for as much as he has. For them, they only 1 game behind Miami.
Yep.
You know, everybody talking about how great Miami is. They're only 1 game behind, missing with Deng and Rose missing so many games. Great job by the Bulls, and they won't be intimidated.
Chicago fell to Miami last year.
Yeah, but that was very deceptive because if you go back and look at, it was a 5-game series, I think it was.
Yeah, but would you say Miami's playing better than they did last year?
Well, but I'm just saying,
this guy
don't be thinking about. Ernie, you go back and look at those games.
Charles, you cannot be serious.
We're talking basketball now. You look at those games. You go back and look at every single one of those games. Every one of those games went down to the last 2 minutes of the game. And the one thing about Miami, we haven't had Chicago, we haven't had a chance to see Rip Hamilton play. But Miami was playing great last year now. But every one of those games went down to the buzzer, and Derrick Rose had no help.
I will also say that, as crazy as it might sound, Orlando has an opportunity because they have the one weakness.
That sounds crazy.
They have the one strength that Miami has the weakness.
Yeah, you crazy.
And that's Dwight Howard in the middle.
You're crazy.
Because if you saw tonight, if you have a big guy who can get the basketball and score inside like Dwight Howard can, that's a weakness for the Miami Heat. They were one of the teams that beat them in this streak that they had, because he's dominant enough. And the same way, the reason why they have trouble against Chicago, because they have a weakness at the point guard position, and Derrick Rose can dominate the game. So there is a chance for Orlando, but Chicago...
Orlando's got 0 chance.
Okay, but when you talk about Chicago and Miami, you know, you guys keep talking about Chicago, but you only mentioning 1 player. When Derrick Rose doesn't score a lot of points, they struggle. I know you think Rip Hamilton's going to be the safer, but I don't think so. Miami will definitely not lose to Chicago this year. No way.
Well, I mean, first of all, the Orlando thing is just not going to happen. But I'm saying I want to see Rip Hamilton play. Can he get healthy? Can he stay healthy? Because, listen, Derrick Rose is phenomenal. I've watched him the last couple of nights. He is phenomenal. They're going to play great defense. And, listen, as great as Miami is, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade have to play up here. They can't have bad games.
But they always play up there.
Yeah. Well, but that team does have flaws. That's what I'm saying.
That's my point.
But I'm saying, but the White House, the Orlando Magic can't beat the Miami Heat. That's not even a contest.
So who else in the Eastern Conference?
Just Chicago. Just Chicago.
So, but if they have flaws, what are their flaws?
Miami?
Yeah.
I think that you can beat them up inside. And I think when they go to their bench, you know, we can talk about Norris, Cole, and all those other guys. They get even smaller when they go to the bench.
That is my point about.
Yeah, but the Dwight Howard's not. There are other flaws of Orlando, as you saw tonight, when they can't make shots, and they won't be able to make shots because all those guys who are good shooters, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade gonna have them on lockdown. And as much as I like Dwight Howard, he's not gonna get 35 and 25. He's not fully polished offensively where he could do like an Akeem Olajuwon says, I'm gonna score, get fouled every time. His explosions are more like, tonight he exploded, basically. And it still wasn't enough.
Right.
You heard it here first. Check this one out. If Carmelo and Amari can play at a superstar level the remainder of the season, I see them giving Miami trouble in the first round. if they remain at that 8th spot. But they got to play out of this world.
Well, if they're playing out of this world, they won't be the 8th spot.
Well, you know what, though? That is a team, the New York Knicks, that would be interesting against Miami because
now you got a big three versus a big
this
three.
This is why it won't be effective. So that's the beauty of LeBron and Dwayne. They're going to have Carmelo on lockdown. Those two guys can guard anybody.
But Carmelo can score on everybody. We already said, and you especially say that Carmelo Anthony is the best scoring player
but
in
not,
basketball.
Carmelo has to step up also. He has to step up.
Not against,
so we're saying when he's rolling.
But not against them two guys.
Okay.
Like, those two guys are special. You asked me about Michael and Scottie defensively. Those are the best two I've seen. Carmelo would use so much energy the first game. By game 3, he would be on empty trying to score on Dwayne and LeBron night in, night out.
We would have to see a different result than we saw last Thursday on TNT when Miami played New York, and it was
Be interesting, though.
no contest.